All right, let's get into it.
Well, it's Friday, and it's the Warfighter Tobacco Podcast, and John is off doing John stuff.
He's gallivanting
again. So I got Mikey.
Hey, man.
Again.
Hey, buddy.
This is the second one, right?
This is the second time I've been on your show.
Right.
Yeah. I feel very comfortable in this chair for some reason.
I know. Right? it suits you.
Thank you. I do want to point out that I stole John's ashtray on purpose. So suck it, John. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah. There was an episode I tried talking to myself, and that went okay, but I definitely prefer to have a co-host.
Yeah.
So,
well, when I first started podcasting, when I had the American Hooligan podcast, it was just me.
Yeah.
And it was literally like half hour, 45 minutes of me just talking.
Yeah.
And I hated it. People enjoyed it for some reason, but I hated doing it. I hated, I didn't see any future in it. Right. You know, like there wasn't a return. And, this way it's like, hey.
I don't know. I don't know if I like listening to podcasts where one person's talking.
No, I agree. I think it's more like be a back and forth.
And we don't need to go into who the person is, but Rob O'Neill does a podcast, right? And he talks. Yeah. And he interrupts himself.
That's funny.
It's funny. He'll be going down something and then he'll interrupt himself with another thought.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I would be very bad at myself.
Bill Burr does the same thing. Bill Burr has his own show, and he'll do it from the back of a cab sometimes and stuff. It's so
That's
funny.
Crazy. I'm not interested. I'm not that interested in listening to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care what I have to say.
Well, you're not a narcissist.
Maybe.
I think I'm not a doctor or anything, but
all right.
I'm kind of a doctor.
Speaking of that, I'm having a hard time hearing you because of this tinnitus.
You mean the sound of freedom ringing?
Yes, the sound of freedom is ringing in my ears constantly.
Same, dude.
And we were talking about it right before the show.
Yep.
And you said that the VA rates it as a mental issue.
They do. It's not rated as hearing issue. It's rated as a mental issue. It's very closely tied to TBI. As I understand, which would make sense for you. Considering I know how many AT4s have gone off next to your head.
Yeah. But if you look at my VA record, it says I do have tinnitus.
Yeah.
It says I have hearing loss, not service connected. And it also says I have TBI, not service connected.
Same.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
Since I joined.
7 IEDs and my TBI is not service connected.
I joined when I was 17 and why? Yeah.
Well, that was my question. When they told me that my TBI wasn't service connected, I was like, lady, where'd I get it? And she's like, well, maybe you got it beforehand. And I was like, I joined at 17, retired in my 30s. I don't think so.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot of hills I'm willing to die on, but, but yeah, so that's weird. I'd like to, I don't think it's a mental thing.
Yeah.
But, maybe.
When you get a chance, log into your e-benefits account and look at your rating, and it'll say rated as mental issue. If you look at your list of all your ratings and stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine does. Anyways.
That's crazy.
It's super weird. Yeah.
Because I thought that was the only thing I had that wasn't a mental issue. So.
Sorry, buddy. You're still batshit.
Yeah.
It's a Warfighter Tobacco Podcast.
Yeah. So we're smoking on my favorite breakfast cigar.
This is one of my favorite cigars you make.
Yes. I don't smoke it enough. But I figured since we are recording right now, it is 9:40 in the morning.
Yes. And that's my fault.
Which is a rarity for us because I like to drink not classic root beer.
Yeah.
But it's,
I have a bougie coffee.
We may have done the Freedom Friends podcast last night. And after everybody left, I continued to drink for a little bit.
Attaboy.
And so I didn't feel like waking and baking this morning. So
yeah.
But
well, I have a flight to catch after this.
Yeah,
I got to fly to Philly. So,
yeah.
so that's going to be a fun flight.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
The 556 Field, Connecticut in Lancero is what we're smoking.
I remember when you first made this,
mm-hmm.
And you brought out the test blends to us, and you let us try them. It was all the guys on the podcast and people who were around at the time at the last place.
Yeah.
And you were you had no expectation and low expectation for the cigar. And the second we all smoked it, we were like, bro,
Yeah.
this is amazing.
Like, because obviously, I mean, people that have listened to either podcast for a while now know that I like the
your Rosado.
I like the Rosado.
Yeah,
so
your
when the Rosado came out in a Lancero, I was excited, and for some reason, this Connecticut that I very rarely smoke are Connecticut's because I like a little bit bolder cigar.
Yeah,
but the Lancero hits a little different for some reason.
It's a good blend of. Because it almost feels like it hits a little harder than your regular Connecticut sticks. You know, maybe it's just the shape, and I don't know. I'm talking out my ass.
Well, not really, because in our Connecticut we put a hint of Ligero. Oh, and so when you reduce the ratio on making like a Lancero or something, right?
Yeah.
If there's like something in the blend that stands out, like Ligero will stand out from some of the other fillers a little bit more. Maybe what they did is they reduced the other fillers and left more of the Ligero, just proportionately, and I think that might have something to do with why I like it so much.
What do they call Connecticut's?
Because it originated in Connecticut, so this is Connecticut shade because our Connecticut is made in Nicaragua,
right?
But Connecticut. I mean,
they just grew lighter tobacco up there.
Well, it's not that; it's a ferment process, and then like if whether it's sun grown or shade grown or whatever. But I don't know, and it might have been the strain of seed or whatever. I'm not real sure though why. Other than it's called Connecticut is because it tastes like the tobacco grown in Connecticut.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But
you actually schooled me the other day on tobacco seeds, man. I had no idea how little they were.
Right.
They're teeny.
Yeah, they're easy to keister if you got to smuggle them.
Super easy to keister.
from Cuba to, say, Nicaragua, you know?
Yeah. I actually went home and told my wife about it and was like, have you ever seen tobacco seeds? And she's like, no. And I was like, dude, they're teeny. like,
yeah, I mean, I should have had some sitting here if maybe Justin, if you can run and grab some tobacco seeds. They're in Michelle's office on the shelf. And we'll see if they can even see them on camera. But yeah, they come in like a pod. Yeah. They grow on the flower on top of the tobacco plant. And the flowers, normally you never see the flowers are cut off.
Right.
And except for when you're growing tobacco for the purposes of getting seeds, right? But in each pod, which is probably like a
quarter inch,
a quarter inch,
eighth of an inch.
It's a little bigger. Between a quarter and a half inch circle, there's probably 300 or 400 seeds in that little sphere.
It seems like that'd be really easy to cultivate, right? Like,
well, I think when they plant them, what they do is they just sprinkle a couple in a little cup, right? One of those planter's cups, and they water them, and then they pluck. They let them get, I don't know, an inch or two high, and they just pick the strongest growing one and then put it in its own and go from there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the seeds are, I don't know. We brought them back because I wanted to grow a tobacco plant and I haven't started it yet, but I should because it's probably the right season to get it going. So
I mean, I don't know if you haven't seen the inside of my house, but my wife is a plant lady.
Oh, okay.
And she has like 86 plants.
Wow.
Like if you never need fresh air, just walk into her office. Like it's the freshest. So much. Like, she basically works in a jungle every day.
Nice.
And it's starting to overtake like my backyard on my like patio and stuff. And like there's what's the other one? I made her like a little greenhouse thing.
Right.
Like
you know what? I messed Justin up because the seeds are right behind me.
Justin, disregard, dude. They're in here.
From when I showed Mikey.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see that. I'm not going to open the bag. I don't know. But this is like the pods that it comes in, and all the little dust down here there's probably
500, 600 seeds.
There's probably 2,000 seeds there.
You think?
Oh, fuck yeah. Look how small they are.
I'm not good at guessing the jelly beans in the jar, clearly.
I bet there's 5,000.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot, dude.
Yeah.
Because they're so teeny.
Yeah.
That's wild, man. Did you declare this when you...
Well, no, This didn't come from anywhere overseas.
Oh, that's right. That's Virginia tobacco.
Right.
Yeah. That's clearly Virginia
It's
tobacco.
definitely not some of the best Nicaraguan tobacco seeds that I could get. So
No, it's definitely,
yeah.
obviously.
Yeah.
How long do they stay in seed form?
No idea. Like good like that?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Like those might be dead.
Well, I think
I don't know.
I think seeds last kind of indefinitely
Do they?
until you add water and dirt. I don't know the answer to this question.
I'm not a botanist, so I'm not sure, dude.
But I know when I buy the seeds from like the store,
Yeah, that's true.
they're old. Right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I'm not really deep into horticulture.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, maybe in my younger days, but yeah.
Right.
Zing.
None of those seeds made it to the ground.
Thank God. That's why I won't do 23andMe until I got 3.5 years left. Then it would be 18.
Not the seed I was talking about.
Oh, right. No, but I built Haley a like a little greenhouse thing out of one of those cabinets from IKEA.
Oh, okay.
Like, and she's got like grow lights in it and all this. So
She wants to kick a couple off.
she'll try it. I
Yeah.
guarantee you, if you give her seeds, she'll grow something.
Yeah,
That chick
absolutely.
is wild, man.
Yeah.
When it comes to that,
Just
like,
I'll give her, I don't know, 50, whatever a pinch is.
right?
And if she gets some going, like get them back to me about that big or whatever. And
Yeah.
keep a couple and
Dude, I'm telling you, she'll do it just to do it,
cool.
just to try it.
Yeah.
Like, we rescued a cactus. We call it our rescue. We were driving around in Cibolo, where we live. We were driving around one of the new areas that's being developed into another housing district, another housing development, right? And they just laid down the roads, and we just drove in there, and we saw this big ass cactus that was laid over.
Oh.
It was like gone, like it was uprooted.
Right.
And she was like, "I want to save that." And I was like, "Okay, whatever." So I took her back home and went and grabbed my truck because I'm not putting that in the back of a van, you know. And so I went over there with rubber gloves and tongs and shit and picked up this huge cactus and put it in the back of my truck. That thing has tripled in size. She's like,
Wow.
propagated it to her friends. Like, it's like basically guarding my front door now with cacti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of cacti?
A prickly pear.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And she's got all kind of monsteras and crazy plants everywhere. Like, she's got the carnivore plants. She keeps she keeps a little carnivorous plant in that thing I built her.
Yeah.
Because it kills all the gnats. It eats all the gnats.
Nice.
And there's just gnats like that naturally come towards plants, right? And humidity and whatnot. And that little carnivore plant is kicking ass.
Sweet.
It's pretty cool, man.
Yeah. That's
Like,
cool.
she's got super into it because, that's her midlife crisis. We learned how to barbecue in World War II history, and they learned plants and read a bunch of smut books.
Yeah.
That's what I'm convinced of. So, no.
Yeah.
I'm such a fan of this cigar, though, dude.
It's a Lancero, so you gotta. If we talk too much, it'll go out.
Mm-hmm.
Justin, what are some of the listener questions?
We got a few questions this week. The first one is, if you could share a cigar with anyone in history, who would it be?
Oh, that's a great question.
That is a great question.
Yeah, let's break this down even a little farther.
Yeah.
Let's go time period wise and go each time period, because I think that'll be a little bit easier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right.
So, like, let's say, like BC. Who would you share a cigar with? BC. I mean, or like first century. I would kind of talk to Pontius Pilate and be like, "Hey, man, what's the deal? Why you
Now you gotta let that happen.
why you crucifying our guy?
You gotta let it happen. You're from the future. You know how this goes down.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. No, like Napoleon would be cool.
Marcus Aurelius.
Marcus Aurelius would be a good one. Yeah. Alexander the Great. Like, he did a lot of shit. All those Ottoman guys, they seem pretty chill. Kick their feet up. It's a good dad joke. Justin, your new dad, man. You got to get on these dad jokes.
I know. I gotta step up the game.
Dude, you have a daughter too, man. That's even more so.
Yeah, I'm terrified.
You should be.
Yeah.
You should be. Man, Lincoln. I think that would be a cool guy to share a cigar with.
I think he smoked pipes, right?
Yeah. Maybe they had shit cigars back then. Maybe if you'd have been like, hey man, check this out.
Oh, I think they had probably decent cigars back then.
Yeah.
I know it was that in that time period. There was quite a few. They weren't like traditional. They were more like the Toscano type that are dried and you don't have to keep them humidified. They cure them.
Yeah.
I think that's the way most of the cigars were. I might be wrong. I don't know.
Interesting.
I'm not up on my cigar history. Churchill would definitely be on that list.
Yeah, Churchill's a must-have.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like if you go back in time, you kill Hitler. That's like a must-have.
Yeah.
Like it's the
To
same
smoke
thing.
a cigar with Churchill.
Yeah, like you got to. Yeah.
All you have to do is be around him with a cigar in your hand and you're smoking a cigar with Churchill.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you're gonna like, hey, we should get together and have a cigar.
I want to have breakfast with him.
He's just always he's just always having a cigar.
I want to have breakfast with Churchill, man. And just have a smoke with him. Sit in the bath, sit in like an adjacent bath to him, just sit there and bullshit. It'd be great.
But like post-war. So,
Yeah.
So then you can like talk to him about all the shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be there during the decision making.
Yeah. During the war, Dick Winters would be a guy I'd like to have a smoke with.
Fuck yes.
Right?
Oh, fuck yes.
Yeah, dude. I would definitely like to puff a stogie with him, and dig around in his brain because he was a great man,
Imagine.
If you're listening and watching and you don't know who Dick Winters is, first of all, get your fucking life together. But secondly, watch Band of Brothers. Or no, I'm sorry, not Band of Brothers.
No, Band of Brothers.
Band of Brothers. Always get Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers.
Yeah.
They came out like the same time.
Right. So Saving Private Ryan was
Fictional.
Yeah. Ish. Yeah.
Ish.
How sick would it be to share a cigar with Dick Winters in the Eagle's nest?
Oh, bro.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Well, like when we were doing war, I had a moment like that.
Really?
Yeah, because we're in Saddam's palace.
Yeah. That was our Eagle's nest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, now granted.
Except the war didn't end then.
No. And there was many, many palaces. It wasn't like the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Saddam was a little bougie compared to Hitler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We lived in his, what do you call his not wife, but the girlfriend's house that was on
the mistress?
Yeah. But there was a name for it.
Concubine?
I don't know, something like that. Like it was his, where he kept his side piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a scumbag.
Yeah.
Dude was a fucking turd.
Yeah. His kids were way worse.
His kids were fucking nightmares, yeah. Which I stayed in one of their houses once. Much later.
I was in one of their houses. Well, I wasn't their house, but
I was in
it was in the last house they were in.
Yeah, you were there for that. Yeah. I was in Uday's summer home in 2004 for a little bit. Yeah. That's where I stole his Rolex. Allegedly. Yeah. I never got to Baghdad. Like I've never been in the green zone.
We spent 3 weeks in Baghdad. And it was before any infrastructure was set up. So we were just bouncing from like school to sleep.
Yeah. Well, schools turned out to be really good firm bases.
They were, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did.
Because one, they weren't being used.
Yeah.
And
the kids were like, not going to school tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. My Alpha Company 1-3's firm base in Fallujah during Phantom Fury was a school. It was like an elementary school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we got like to Baghdad and to all that, like a week after we got there, everything was looted. So all the copper power lines, all the like it was funny, Saddam's palaces, right? There's like little lights leading up to the walkways and shit. Well, all the light fixtures are ripped off, and then all the cords are fucking dug up out of the marble, and like
Iraqi meth heads.
Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, it was crazy. Everything was looted.
That's one of the only drugs I didn't see over there.
What's that?
I didn't see dudes like hopped up on meth that I know of.
Oh yeah.
Like I saw PCP. There was a lot of PCP going around the insurgency.
I wouldn't know what that looked like.
I didn't know either until they explained to us, this is PCP. We were like, that's why we're shooting these guys and they're not going down.
Yeah.
You'd shoot a guy like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
nothing would happen. It's because he's on PCP. He's not.
Oh, I thought it was because they were just dead already.
He's a zombie. He basically is.
Yeah.
That's a scary ass drug, dude. Like that's how people are like, I can fly, and they jump, and then they get up and start running again. You're like, what the hell? Like, oh my god! Like, yeah, shit's terrifying.
Yeah.
I saw a guy get into a fist fight with a dude that was all hopped up on it in a mall in Australia once, and it took like 10 dudes to subdue this guy.
Yeah,
like he was not a big dude, but in his brain at that moment he was Superman. And
that's crazy.
It was insane, dude. Like he was shattering his own bones trying to get away. Wow, like it's terrifying.
Yeah,
that's that guy needed a cigar and a relax. That's for sure. Yeah. Like, yeah. That was wild.
But other people through history. Let's see.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Mattis. I'd like to have a conversation right before OAF1.
Yeah.
I'd like to sit down with him and have a smoke.
It's funny, like your general and my general, General Petraeus.
Yeah.
They kind of went from like being fucking awesome to like
nobody likes him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I knew Petraeus. I'd met Petraeus.
Petraeus was great.
He was a great dude.
And then I guess when he got into the CIA and shit, he just lost his fucking mind.
Same with Mattis when he became SecDef, right? Like he just he dropped the Moab and was like, no, I'm going to be an asshole. You know?
Yeah. Like I don't understand
it was upsetting.
Yeah.
You know? It was upsetting because we looked up to him. Like I was his color.
Fuck yeah. We Army guys looked up to Mattis. Jesus Christ.
I was his color sergeant before he was a 4-star. When he was a 3-star, I was a 2-star. He was a 2-star. I was his color sergeant when he was at MEF. And
Petraeus, when he was a 2-star, parked his helicopter literally right behind where we lived.
I was one of Petraeus's general drivers for his PSD team in 2001 in Kabul. My very first deployment to a combat zone. Yeah. Well, there was no combat, but but yeah, it was Petraeus's team. And super nice guy. Mm-hmm. When I met him once, you know, I mean, because I wasn't his driver.
He was my division commander. So when he was a 2-star, he was in charge of the 101st. And so it was a good run with him. But I don't remember who we got afterwards. I don't remember. Must not have been as.
I don't know.
Oh, Cody, General Cody. Or was that before Trace? But General Cody was the 101st commander of an aviation of the Apache unit going into Desert Storm.
Oh, wow.
He was like probably a colonel or lieutenant colonel at the time. But General Cody was also, I think that might have been before Petraeus, but he was a good general too. I don't know whatever happened to him.
No. I mean, you would hope that like in order to get to the level of general officer, when you become a flag officer, like, you better be a good dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you better be a good person at that point, right? Like, because you're talking about thousands of people depend on you making sound decisions, you know?
Right.
Like, that's insane, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
but you got to wonder too, like the people who depend on his decisions versus the people he makes decisions for.
Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. I hate it when I don't know. I always tried to lead guys.
Cody, then Petraeus.
Yeah, and then Turner. I should remember Turner, but I don't know a whole lot.
You got out in what, 05, 06?
7, the end of 6.
End of 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Turner would have been your guy.
Huh? Yeah, I don't remember. I couldn't place Turner's face if I. Nope. And that was right through war. I don't remember.
Well, you were busy.
I was busy.
Yeah, you were busy.
But Cody, if you click on his picture, he was an aviation guy. But
what's that award? The top one?
His aviation rotary wing.
No, not that. Not the badge. The award right underneath it.
The red and white one.
Yeah.
I don't know that one.
Well, let's find out. Scroll down a little bit. It'll show us under his awards. Yeah, Distinguished Service Medal. Oh shit!
And then I think that was from flying. Distinguished Flying Cross. So, yeah, he did some good shit in Desert Storm. I believe it probably says.
Probably. It's stacked, man.
And then
You know what today is? Speaking of generals, today is General Lewis B. Chesty Puller's birthday.
oh yeah,
Yeah. One of the legends of the Marine Corps. Like,
I hear controversy on that sometimes, and I don't understand.
so it broke my heart when I learned this. My granddad, who was in World War II and was under Chesty, when I was talking to him about it, because he was telling me how he was a raider and he was on Guadalcanal, I was like, "Oh, you were there with Chesty Puller," and his first words was like, "He was like, yeah, to hell with him," and I was like, "Wait, what?" Like, because us as Marines, like,
right.
it's beat into our head, like he's the man,
Yeah.
like he's like worshipped in the Marine Corps, right? Like, one for the commandant, one for the corps, one for Chesty, you know, stuff like that.
Right,
you know, like it's always been like that. So when he told me, he was like, "Yeah, to hell with him," and I was like, "What?" He goes, "None of us liked him." He's like, the guy was always trying to get us in a fight. He wanted his Medal of Honor that he never got. He had a chip on his shoulder because of it. Like he would make unnecessary. He would put us in harm's way unnecessarily and all this.
Okay, let's talk about that for a little bit, right?
Sure.
Now I can see in Vietnam that would be bullshit to do unnecessary shit, right?
Yeah.
Were you upset when your chain of command put you in harm's way unnecessarily? Or was it like, this motherfucker's letting us fight? Because I felt like they wouldn't let us do our job most of the time.
So-
and when they did, I was so fucking happy about it.
So it depends on our rules of engagement at the time,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'll give an example. Alpha Company 3rd tracks during Operation Vigilant Resolve, which was the first Battle of Fallujah, right, in April of 2004.
Yeah.
They lost a number of guys, and it was due to leadership's fault.
Right.
They knew that they were going to go into a spot where they knew they were going to be
Right.
attacked, and they knew they were holding their hands. They were tying their hands behind their back.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, fuck them.
Yeah.
Right? Alternatively, later that year, ROE changed for the better for us. During
Right.
Phantom Fury, it was no. Ages 15 to 55.
Yeah.
They're not supposed to be here.
Right.
Get them.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that was a different kind, because that was like, all right, now we're on even keel. Now we can do what they're doing back to us.
Now, where do you think, at what level did our ROE come from?
Flag officer. At that time, it was regimental combat teams calls. So there was regimental combat. There was a changeover during 2004 between Regimental Combat Team 1 and Regimental Combat Team 7.
Okay.
And then RCT 5 was around there too, right?
Yeah.
One was hey, let's not, wave the flag. Let's wave the flag and shoot the pen flare and hit the thing and all that.
Right.
7 was like, wrong, get them. You know what I mean? And it really all depended on who was in charge. Just so happened that Mattis was in charge of RSB 7. Mattis and a guy named Natonsky, General Natonsky, were in charge, and they were like, no, we're bringing our guys home.
Yeah.
Like they're about ready to start a big fight.
Because we were I was there in 2003 when it first kicked off, and ROE was kind of like, this is fucking war, right?
Yeah.
Like don't shoot innocent people.
Yeah.
Pretty much ROE, right?
Sure.
And then it became winning the hearts and minds.
That was a little easier though,
but
because they were uniformed.
For the first
Week.
2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Then you saw piles of uniform and naked dudes running around.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I don't ever remember killing a uniformed fighter.
Not me neither.
Yeah. Not once.
Yeah.
But
Had some surrender to me, but I never.
yeah, I think we saw a couple maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, they weren't in the fighting spirit.
I had 4 of them surrender to me while I was taking a poop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Pooping an ammo can. They came up, scared the ever living out of me. I was like, oh my God.
Well, you're in the right place for it to scare the shit out of you.
Well, they still had their AKs on them,
Yeah.
but they were like holding them up.
Right.
And they're like, nope. And I was like, fucking drop it. And they threw them. And I was like, what is happening with my mop gear around my ankles?
Yes. Oh, that's perfect.
I was terrified.
But yeah, but then when I was a sniper on the second deployment, our rules of engagement were we couldn't shoot unless we were engaged. There wasn't even a caveat for the snipers.
Which is ridiculous for snipers.
This was my argument every day, brother.
That's
It was
right.
like,
That's
do you
so
want me
ridiculous.
to just stand up and do jumping jacks until we're shot at? Or Or how about you let us sleep in the barracks because
You're clearly not using your asset.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing I can do. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's frustrating, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Did you have a lot of cigars during OF1? Did you have?
We smoke cigars. Obviously not like I do today, but
Oh, sure.
yeah. But no, we smoke cigars. Yeah. I'm trying to think of any other vices we had. Everything that General Order 1 Alpha was just the no fun rule. So
Sure.
yeah, I couldn't really do anything.
I don't know. I was buying booze off the bus drivers on Camp Fallujah.
Everybody had booze. Yeah.
As long as Gunny got his share, man, it was all good. Like he didn't get mad. Cigar wise, cigarettes and cigars. I was a cigarette smoker at the time. We raided a cigarette factory,
Oh yeah.
which was kind of nice.
Yeah.
So like and it was like the PX had just ran dry like
Yeah.
2 weeks before, and everybody's starting to nick fit out real bad because they're all running out and everything. And I drove around like Santa Claus with a sea bag full of cartons of cigarettes around the city Fallujah.
Do you remember the brand?
Malimbo.
Malimbo,
It looked
okay.
like a shitty knockoff version of Marlboro. I have a pack still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
John's got a pack of Iraqi cigarettes, but it's a white. I don't remember the brand, but
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't smoke too many cigarettes.
Yeah, there it is.
Malimbo.
Malimbo. Yeah, I got a pack of those at home. Yep.
American
I
blend.
know, right? All it is, it's a knockoff Marlboro. Like,
That's funny.
and I drove around Fallujah for like a week with a sea bag full of smokes, being like, "You guys got smokers?" Like, "No, we don't have any." I was like, "Got you, dog." Throwing cartons, and they were like, oh,
Yeah.
"You're the man!" like I was just helping everybody out, right? Like, because I was sleeping in the
Fucking Robin Hood right here.
yeah, dude. I was sleeping in their factory. I don't know if it was a factory or if it was just like a warehouse. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's
But-
boys, we got to figure out this factory. Let's fire these machines up. We got a production run to run.
Well, like it was funny because there was all these crates, and I was like, "What the hell are these?" It's all in Arabic, so you have no idea. And then finally, I see one thing that was like it said like cigaretta,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What?" So I friggin' jimmied this thing open, and I was like, "Oh, these are all cigarettes." And everybody was like, "What?" We were like, "Oh my god!" We started breaking everything open after that. We were like, "Ah!" It was Christmas, dude. It was like we won the lottery. It was insane. They were pretty shit cigarettes, but any port in a storm, you know.
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
yeah,
It's like
All about the little wins, right?
Yeah.
right, dude.
like the worst cigar I could smoke. I would have happily smoked over there. Like it didn't matter.
Fucking Black and Milds and Swisher Sweet.
I smoked those over there. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Did you ever have like the guys who would like empty out the Black and Mild and pull the sleeve out? They'd pull like the inner wrapper out and then refill it. I don't know why they did that.
John and I talked about that. What did he call that? We're
It was like taking its panties off or something. I don't
yeah.
remember what it was
John and I talked about it on I think
I can't remember
2 episodes ago.
because I remember that there was a word for it,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, John just went over this. I don't remember though, but
I can't think of it either.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I had a buddy of mine who did that to every Black and Mild. That's all he smoked was Black and Mild.
yeah.
Yeah. And he was from Atlanta. Am I being clear enough?
This is the same story John told. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Like taking the edge off of it or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it
Yeah,
was.
there's a term he said it was, but yeah.
If I heard it, I would know it immediately.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've been blown up a lot of times since then and drank way too much.
We've got another question if y'all want to.
Yeah.
What you got, buddy?
So this one comes from Timothy. He said, I've seen people lick cigars before they light them, like the whole cigar. When asked why, they can only say they've seen someone else do it. Is there any reason for this, or are they just crazy?
They're just fucking crazy.
That's like a blunt thing. That's like from like rolling blunts when you used to slice cigars open and make
Or roll your own cigarettes, right?
yeah.
But like, I don't know, back in the day, like I only started smoking cigars so long ago, right? I don't know if people did that to keep them together back in the day, but if you do it today, it's disgusting and you're retarded.
Yeah.
Like I watched, John and I watched one guy at the gun shop. We sold him a cigar and he did the same thing. Licked the whole fucking thing, had drool coming out of his mouth, dripping on the ground. It was so fucking gross. And then he's like, do you have a cutter? And we were both like, fuck no. Like, are you fucking serious?
I wasn't even like cutter herpes.
Yeah, it was
There, dude.
so bad. But yeah, I don't know if you are doing a habit like that and it's because you've seen somebody else do it and you don't know the reason, you should probably find out the reason.
Yeah.
Also, just to put this out in there again, if you do the whole like licking the cap thing, do not lick it and then use the public cutter. Don't be that asshole.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
cut your cigar and then if you lick it,
cut
lick
the
it,
new
but-
cigar.
Exactly.
Like I try to not wet mine too bad.
I'm the same way. And I have licked a cigar before, right?
Sure.
But if it's like starting to come apart, like
That's like
I'll do one of these and then peel it over.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is the most licking I will do.
Long-time enthusiasts believe they need to lick their cigar to moisten the wrapper to keep it from splitting.
Okay.
It's fine to take a cold draw after clipping off the cap of a cigar to get a taste of the tobacco in its purest form, but licking isn't recommended. Yeah, there you go.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, it's gross. It's weird. Unless you just like long cylindrical things that are usually brown in your mouth.
You know, and some people chew cigars, and I don't understand that one either.
I've got buddies of mine that do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never tried it.
It's not tobacco. Well, I think that comes from like plug tobacco, right? Like when you used to like bite a plug and just chew it, but that's like chaw.
Yeah. It's a
You
little
know?
different.
It's-
I don't know. It's not something I do. I smoke a cigar and
Yeah.
yeah.
I've never been I'm not a big chewer anyways, but I've never been like a big let's chew on a cigar type of guy. Seems odd to me.
Even if I couldn't smoke one and I had one to chew on, I don't think I would chew on one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like I don't like it when the tobacco gets in my mouth at all. Like if it's loose or, like when I cut it, I blow on it and I kind of knock off if there's any shavings because I don't want it like that.
Or to like stick to my teeth or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want this.
Yeah. But to actually chew on it, I don't know why a guy would do that.
Which, by the way, I need to thank you. I was able to cancel a dentist appointment to be here today, which I would much rather be sitting here having a cigar with Buddy than having dental appointments.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to push it back to next Monday.
Nice.
Yeah.
What other questions? Anything else?
We do. So the next one comes from Chris. He wants to know, what are your favorite cigar pairings and what are your favorite cigar accessories?
Well, my favorite cigar pairing is Jameson and a Rosado because it's what I like to smoke and it's what I like to drink.
Yeah.
And I think when I'm like, I don't get deep into the pairing thing. I really don't. I do like to switch up extremes on like what I'm drinking to see how the cigar changes, like going from whiskey to tequila to a rum, right?
Yeah.
Just to see how the same cigar you're smoking, how that changes. That's the only way I really get a whole lot out of it. But like, I mean, if you're drinking a good booze and you're smoking a good cigar, it's probably going to pair well.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, I'm pretty new to cigars. Well, not that new now.
Yeah.
I guess it's been like 4 years now. But I have noticed things that I prefer, like different whiskeys, different drinks that I prefer with a cigar and it's different cigars. Like, like if I'm smoking one of your Corojos,
Right.
for instance, right? I think the Corojo and regular Jameson pairs magnificently.
Yeah.
Granted, any kind of bourbon with that cigar, I think, is just perfection.
Right. For me, if I'm smoking a cigar I don't care for, and I say I'm drinking scotch, which I don't care for, it's not going to pair well.
Yeah.
And if I take a great cigar and I pair it with something I don't like to drink, like scotch, it's not going to pair well.
Yeah.
If I take something I love to drink,
But if it's two things that you enjoy,
yeah, and if I'm drinking like Jameson triple, I love it, right?
yeah.
And I pair it with a dog turd of a cigar, it's probably not going to pair well.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an instance where you're smoking a cigar you really like and then drinking something and you don't like that combination? Has that ever happened?
If I'm smoking and drinking something I like,
Yeah,
no,
but it
it's
doesn't,
always good.
but it always comes out good.
It's unique, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think what you're asking is, has it ever happened the other way around, right? Where you're smoking something you don't like.
And it becomes good.
No, I'm at like, have you ever had, because what you're saying basically is if you smoke something you like and you drink something you like, you're going to like it, which makes sense. That maths. But I'm curious if you've ever had the instance where you're smoking a cigar that you are enjoying and you're drinking a beverage that you enjoy, but the combination just doesn't work together and you don't like it. Has that ever happened?
Not that I can really remember. It'll change it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've tried new things that I've been like, oh, that's interesting, but it's never been bad.
Yeah.
You know, like the last time I was on this show, I think I had a cream soda and a 762 field, right?
Right.
I had never tried it. I'd actually seen Dave do it.
Yeah.
And that's why it gave me the idea.
Well, like
it was phenomenal.
Right now I'm smoking in Connecticut, pairing it with a root beer, and I like both of them. So it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I got this with coffee,
right.
with my bougie coffee.
See, and every time I drink like black coffee or like an espresso or something, I will go out of my way to purposely pair that with a Sumatra.
Yeah.
Just because I don't drink a lot of coffee, I don't smoke a lot of Sumatras. I like both, but not, you know, so when I have one, I feel like I have to have the other for some reason.
There you go.
That was my morning routine for like 6 months.
Yeah.
For a while, I'd make my coffee at home and let a Sumatra on the way, and have my first cup on the way to work, and then I get to work, make another coffee, and then finish my cigar and my second cup of coffee. That was for like 6 months straight.
And then immediately go to the bathroom.
100%.
Yes.
That was
immediately go.
That was the gamble. If I could make it through the cigar before I had shit.
Yep.
Most of the time I lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At that point, it's not lighting a cigar; it's lighting a fuse.
All right. It's time delay. It's kind of like debt cord for your butthole. That's funny.
That's this question though. It always impresses me how many questions come in that, or it's like people are looking for a solid yes or no, but so much in the cigar experience is so. I would say opinion, but it's all personal preference.
It's all subjective.
Well,
exactly.
Maybe I'll answer questions that if they want a yes or no, maybe I'll say it's a no for me.
Exactly.
But
yeah. It's all just what you like.
Yeah.
Like how I like a V cut.
Yeah.
Some people don't.
Yeah. Same.
For some reason, I'm over a V cut. I went through a phase where that's all I would use.
Yeah.
Now the only time I use a V cut is on a torpedo or a box press.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like I like the V cut.
Yeah.
I think it gives me the right amount. Like, because then again, I've also wildly fucked up cigars before by cutting them too much or whatever, and the V cut takes care of that. Right?
I think you're safer cutting a cigar with a V cut to prevent it from coming apart.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some, I don't know. I like the draw better on a straight cut.
I keep a V cut in my truck for when I'm cutting a cigar while I'm driving, because it's the easiest. Yeah. Because it's got the little bevel. You just slam the cigar in there, close, good to go. No, and so I'm not like trying to eye the road and measure where the cap is.
I will say that not all V cuts are created equal.
That is true.
Because some of those like little shitty plastic
you
ones.
have to have a deep V.
Yes.
That Calibri V cut right there is the best cutting V that I would
co-sign.
Yeah. I found.
They are not all created equal. Because like even like the ones like you guys all have your fancy table cutters, right? Like even the ones on that don't cut as well as this.
They're not deep enough.
Yeah. And even when like I V cut this Lancero, you know, even when cutting something smaller like a Minuteman or a Lancero or something with a small ring gauge, I found that this still does the trick better.
Michelle uses the V cut exclusively on Minutemen and stuff. So yeah, she won't use a straight cut at all.
Really?
So it's funny, like you mentioned when driving and trying to do a straight cut. Most of the time I get it pretty straight, but there'll be a couple times I'm driving. It's like at a fucking 30-degree cut. You know,
it's all wonky.
Yeah.
But hey, it still works.
Yeah, it'll still smoke. Well, nowadays though, they also have these straight cuts that are that have the base.
See, now I don't like those because I like to go just a little deeper than that.
Yeah. But this would be a good one for driving. Where it's just all right, cool.
That would be because it captures the mess too.
Yeah.
So that would be a great one for driving.
There you go.
So
That's kind of a pro tip.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to cut mine, catch it in my hand, and then find
Yeah.
my ashtray while not rear-ending somebody.
Right.
Any other accessories that you boys enjoy?
I enjoy the Calibri. I like flat flamed lighters too.
I do too. I just, we used to sell one and then the quality changed on it. It used to be great. We had to quit selling it because the quality went down.
Yeah, I have one of your old ones and one of your new ones from that, and
Yeah.
there is a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
The fuel can lighters I really like because of the angle that the jet comes out of. And that's
Yeah.
those are also flat flames.
yeah.
But I like that it comes out at that 45 because it makes lighting the cigar really easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's just natural to me. I don't know.
If you,
Then you have this death trap.
no, that we don't sell. We never have.
Thank God.
Yeah. That was, so we do R&D on all the accessories we sell. And
Great flame
on this
Terrible.
table, you will have seen through the years a bunch of shit that did not pass our quality control. So
I do like the way you guys here at Warfighter specifically kind of do that. Like you field test everything, right? Like before you started selling your new cutters, your new the heavy duty ones, right?
The M8 guillotine.
Yeah, I know that John carried one in his pocket for about a year.
yeah, we at
like-
least 6 months we'll fuck with something before we put our name on it and sell it. So
And if anybody's going to break it, grunts are going to break it.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, you look at this, right? Like this is one of our. I mean, does that one have a logo?
No.
So that is probably one of our first test ones, and it's beat up, man. We put it in our pocket. We don't protect it. We put it with our keys, with our
You can tell this thing's beat up. Like even the flame's wonky.
yeah.
But it's working. Shit.
Like we leave them in our vehicle to see if they're going to explode in 120 degrees. This one you can see has expanded, but it did
Oh,
not.
wow.
But it did not give away.
Sure
and
did.
It still works. So, so stuff like that, if I can leave this and I can see that it bulged and still didn't break and still works, like okay, that's one where
That's some quality.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have our field set, right? And we try to do like a $20 set lighter and cutter. And we've changed the field ones all the time because of the quality issues and stuff too. But I mean, it's $10 for the lighter. So you're only going to get what you're going to get.
Sure. Because you do definitely get what you pay
Yeah.
for.
And then like this Firebird cutter, right? It's definitely not the best, but it's $10 and it works. And if it breaks or you lose it, I mean,
You're out $10.
you're out $10. So I'm sorry, but or you can buy a $50 good one that'll
Yeah.
last you a long, long time.
For sure.
So, but these are good vehicle ones, or golf course or whatever.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah. I think I keep one in my golf bag.
yeah.
Yeah. For a long time, I was a punch guy.
Mm.
And since I started smoking cigars more frequently, pretty much the last few years with you weirdos, I think I've used a punch once, like one time I didn't have a cutter.
So there is an awesome punch on the market. We've never sold it because the nobody buys punch cutters,
Yeah.
right? But the one that I use that I love is the Calibri one.
Yeah.
It's like a rectangle shaped, and you slide it apart, and it has 3 different sizes of punches on it, and they're sharp, and it works great. So the Calibri punch is the one I would recommend.
Yeah.
Occasionally I use it because it was one of those things where we bought a couple, have them for R&D, but it's always been on my patio, and I like a punch because that punch has a big punch on a 660. For some reason, I like that cut.
Yeah.
And so I would use that every now and then, but that's about the only. I've tried other punches. Yeah, that one there,
Oh, nice.
the Calibri Quesar.
Look at that.
And then when you close it, it kicks out the part of the cigar you cut.
Yeah.
Gets stuck in there. But those work great. Highly recommend that one.
Nice.
We've just never sold them because I don't think.
$60 for that.
Yeah, but it's awesome.
Yeah. If you like a punch, that's great.
Yeah,
That's cool.
So that's the punch I would recommend.
I mean, I've also used just a golf tee before. Just punched it with a golf tee, and like
Yeah, I've seen like those. There's like they have 3 needles and you like stab it.
oh yeah.
I've never really used that. I like a bigger like flow hole, I guess, if you will.
Flow hole.
Flow hole.
I like flow hole.
So
No, I agree. I think you get more out of it, and if there's not enough area cut open, I feel like it stifles the cigar, and it also, I think it prones it to like tunneling.
well, some people they'll see like a tar or something, and it happens rarely, but most of the time I've seen it where you get like it's like a tarry goo kind of thing, right? Most of the time when I see that,
It's like a resin.
kind of, but it happens when there's not a big enough cut.
Yeah.
And everything's filtering through this little hole. You get that more often, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that's kind of why I've gone back to the straight cut. I just like the easier draw,
The
I guess.
airflow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I dig that. That's a good.
but accessories. What other accessories do we use? I mean,
Well, I mean, like travel humidors. Those are
Yeah.
important. You know.
the Pelican, the Rocket Case travel humidors. We use them all the time.
Yeah. I brought an R20 with me to Normandy, and it jumped it.
Nice.
It was great. You know, it was small.
You could have thrown it out of the plane and it would have been fine.
It would have been absolutely fine. Yeah, that thing's amazing, dude. Like, and I have 3 of them. I have an R20, an R40, and an R60 at home, and it's really, you know, it depends on what I'm doing. Like I have my R20 packed in my suitcase right now that I'm taking with me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a cigar tonight in the hotel wherever
Yeah.
I'm at. Right?
Right.
Like in Quakertown, PA. That's where I'm going.
Nice.
You know, like it's just that one. I think you guys just cracked the code on that.
Well, like we were trying to design one, right? And then
Yeah.
Pelican came out with that, and we were like, well, they nailed it. Like, I don't think they were designing it as a humidor,
No,
but holy cow, like it really is.
like what was it designed for?
Just keys and random stuff.
Like
right?
you guys got to be the biggest like proponent for those.
I would think we probably sell the most our ruck cases out of
Yeah.
any of Pelican's retailers. I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all like I have probably 4 or 5 ruck cases that I use,
Yeah.
and 4 of them are completely covered in mud right now because I take them
Not the inside, though.
off-roading with me. Yeah,
Inside of them's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
And I've lost them. I've been so deep in the side by side with water that it's it has floated its way out.
Yeah.
But then you just go pick it out because it's floating.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So
Yeah. Well, because I have one of the, what is that? The other brand, Zycar.
yeah.
I have a Zycar
Yeah.
humidor that's like this big that
Right.
I've had for years. It was the first one I ever had.
Yeah.
And it's
Everybody has those.
it's shit.
It's well, it's
like
it is probably $20 versus a ruck case is
Yeah.
$40 to $60.
Yeah.
I
I bought it to take to Afghanistan with me.
Yeah.
And this was before I knew you guys, and I don't even think you guys were rocking yet.
no.
2015.
We probably just started, but we didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, like so I bought one of those I bought it at a smoke shop here in town actually. And I didn't understand, like, I had to re-wet my disc and do all that stuff. I didn't know how to season anything. I didn't know any of that stuff. So it was like all the cigars in there ended up, faltering because of
Well,
it.
and
It was like,
you talk about accessories that are amazing and like the best products out there.
Boveda.
And then and Boost, those two, it's just a little packet of 2-way humidification gel.
Yeah.
So if your cigars are too moist, it sucks the moisture out. If they're too dry, it releases, right? To the exact percentage that's printed on the fucking bag. And that is probably as far
That's
as
like game changer.
yes, as far as cigar accessories go, I will never use water or any of that bullshit again in any humidor I ever have.
The only thing I have your guys' green one
Yeah.
that you gave me for Christmas. Thank you again, Warfighter.
I use Boveda in those.
Do you?
Yeah. They make bigger bags. They fit right in that tray.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it works better.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah.
I did have to replace the battery in it eventually.
Well, a
Finally.
year later.
Yeah.
Right? A year and a half later. I did too. Yeah.
But that thing has been great.
Yeah, that's a great humidor.
That thing-
That's another one. Like I have one with no logos on it
Yeah.
that we R&D'd for 6 months.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that was going to be a good one, and it turned out to be a really good one.
That thing's great, man. Who makes that?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head.
Available at warfightertobacco.com.
Yeah. But yeah, they're good. So, and good people. The company that actually produces them, right? We buy them and then put our logo on them.
Yeah.
Very good people. Awesome company.
Yeah.
Guy I wish I could remember. I think Justin's looking.
We already talked about TBI, guys.
Yeah.
It's all the explosions that happened next to Scott's head. He doesn't remember.
Yeah.
I'm just a noob. So
It's printed on the thing too.
another good accessory I like a lot is this.
Yeah.
This little guy, this little Kydex like stand. You know, something so simple,
Right.
that doubles as a fidget spinner for me
Yeah.
every time I'm on the show. But this thing's I'm a big fan of this too.
The cigar rest.
Yeah, I never even knew how much accessories were available. Yeah, there you go, Huckberry.
Case Elegance. That's the brand.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
They make tan ones, huh?
Oh,
Do a little coyote.
they didn't tell us they had tan ones. That must be new.
Well, it looks like the
I
price
just
point's a
found
little
this out
bit.
too.
Looks like the price point's a little higher. Look at that.
See, we're always workshopping.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, maybe a Warfighter will have some tan ones coming out
they
here.
got tan. They got gray. Gray's probably not a big.
No, we'll probably stick with the military colors. That green one pops so well, though.
That green one's cool. Well, it looks like a Foot Locker.
Yeah.
That's why I like
Yeah.
it so much. Is it's a Foot Locker, man. Like that's cool as hell. Like, yeah. I have a flask / like cigar case at home. I think I got it at SHOT Show one year from Sons of Liberty Gunworks.
Nice.
And it's just like it's got like a flask that's probably a half flask.
Yeah.
And then the other spot is there. It'll hold like 2 cigars.
Right.
Right. And they better be pretty short. Like they're not like really big ones, but that thing's like kind of cool. Like it's kind of like a novelty. Like it'd be a good like white elephant gift or something like that. But that's another thing that I didn't realize. Like gifts for your like significant other ladies out there, or like for like your buddies' birthdays and things like that. Like cigars and cigars accessories are really, really great for that.
Great gift. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that like I set my dad up with like an R60 with a bunch of cigars and all this stuff, and he loves it, man.
Awesome.
Like it's like his favorite thing,
Yeah.
and it's such a good gift idea. So that's something that's really big. And I know you guys do really good on Black Friday. I think a lot of times because of that.
And Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean that's cool, man. Like that's something that I never really thought of as a genre of gift before the last few years. And it's like, dude, that's if you got a guy in your life, because dudes are hard to shop for.
Yeah, we're easy.
We're hard, but we're easy, right? Well, yeah, it's booze and cigars and barbecue shit, and guns, right?
Yeah.
Like, but the thing is like guys like you and I, we have a tendency to just buy our own presents.
It's true.
So when it comes time for our significant others or our friends or family to buy us gifts, we're like, what do you need? It's like, fucking nothing, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I got everything, man. Like, I got too much shit. It's like, I don't need anything, so it's this is like another realm of possibility. Don't get your father a freaking tie he's got a million ties that he never wears, right? Like he doesn't need pocket squares, get him a lighter, get him a cutter. Get him a new cigar or something, it's just it opens up a realm of possibilities for gift giving.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's probably good on the accessory one. Any other questions?
Yeah, we got one from Kevin. He says, "Why can't you use a Zippo lighter for lighting a cigar? I was told you shouldn't do it because it can affect the taste of the cigar."
Well, Kevin, you just answered your own question.
Yep. I mean, you can.
Yeah, you definitely can. You can use
any flame.
Any flame, any hot, anything. Like I lit one off suppressor, like you can light a cigar with anything. And if a Zippo is all I have, I'm using a Zippo. And I'm going to understand that the first couple puffs are going to taste like, Zippos don't use butane. They use what?
Just regular lighter fluid. Yeah.
And there's a different flavor residue that you get off the first couple puffs, but it goes away. And if that's all you have, I'll use one. But butane is a clean burning fuel that doesn't taint the taste of your cigar, which is why everybody likes to use butane lighters. Even the little Bics are butane.
Yeah. It takes a while. It's a soft flame.
Yeah. And soft flame's great. I love using soft flames on the relight.
Yeah.
Because the torches on the relight get a little too hot. And you turn your ash into char, and you get that, your first puff after you relight and you have it too hot.
I kind of like that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like the refry taste, right?
Yeah.
Refried cigars. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe it just comes from being years of a cigarette smoker in me, because it's kind of what it reminds me of is like refrying a cigarette,
But I wouldn't use it Zippo exclusively. But if I didn't have a lighter and I had a cigar and somebody had a Zippo and they offered it to me, I'd use it. But
sure.
It's no big deal.
Sure. What's your thoughts and feelings on the whole cedar stick thing?
Pompousness.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's almost like I'm better than you because I do it like this. It's like, go fuck yourself.
Kind of. I mean, that also taints your cigar.
Yeah.
With cedar, which happens to be wonderful to smoke.
Yeah.
But it's definitely altering the flavor of your cigar.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see why a person would have. It's kind of cool. Like, if you're in a fucking classy joint and they offer cedar things to light your cigar, like it's kind of cool, right?
Sure.
You leave a candle burning on the table and you pick up a cedar stick. And
Like when in Rome, I guess.
yeah.
But
Like it. Okay. Yeah. But if you're telling me the only way you light a cigar is with a piece of cedar, then you're not a real cigar smoker, my friend.
Well, I've heard that about wooden matches too. Like, no, the only way you light a cigar is with a wooden match. And it's like, why? You want sulfur taste? Like,
If the only thing I had was the sun and a magnifying glass, I would get my fucking cigar lit.
right?
Like, I'm going to figure this shit out.
My favorite though is with the cedar and the matches is watching someone struggle to actually get their cigar lit with a cedar stick or a match.
Yeah, it's a race. Get your cigar lit before you burn your finger.
Exactly.
Like wooden matches are worthless, I think. Like you have what, 5 seconds to get a cigar lit properly?
And you can't even do that with a freaking torch. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like,
I did that. I lit a cigar last week on my way into work with a match because I didn't have anything else in my truck other than matches.
That's being resourceful.
And I was just like I left them in there for that exact reason in case I leave my lighter.
It's a just in case.
And I had like all my windows rolled up and I had to turn the AC off because it kept blowing the matches out and shit. And I'm like, yeah, this fucking sucks. But this is all I have. But
I did one of the most pimp moves I've ever done in my life with a book of matches. I was at a bar in Japan. And there was this loud, annoying girl in it, but she was wildly attractive, and which means she's probably like a 6 here in America. But I like folded a match over a book, and lit it off the back, and just slid the book down the bar, and it landed right in front of her, and she was like, "What?" I was like, "I'll never be able to do that again." Like, it was like 1 in a million that I did it right, because it was like probably 10, 15 feet away. She was like, "Who's got a lighter?" She was loud and obnoxious, and I was just like, and slid it down, and she was like, "Hey." It was awesome. I was like, "I'll never do that again."
That's awesome.
But I hope she tells that story fondly.
Nice.
Because it didn't end well for her. It was very mediocre.
how close was it to just landing right in her lap?
Not at all, man. Like,
Really?
like it was like if this thing was it slid and it was like zoop and like parked right in front of her.
That's
still lit.
That's pimp.
And she was like, "What?"
Yeah.
It just like lit her cigarette. And I was like, "Yeah, I'm getting laid tonight." I was like, God smiled on me that day. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the disappointment. Twice.
Well, we got one more question if you want to tackle this last one. Last one comes from Solomon. Flying with cigars. What's been your experience and any do's or don'ts?
If you're going to a foreign country, it's usually a 50 cigar limit per person. Because Michelle and I were going to how I found that out when Michelle and I went to the Bahamas for our anniversary or something. I didn't count the cigars. We just brought a shit ton because we were on vacation for 2 weeks and we both smoke a lot of cigars, right? And so I'm going through their customs and they're like, "Oh, you have too many cigars. You can only," and I'm like, "Well, how many can I have?" Like, $50 per person. And I said, well, half of them are hers. And they're like, okay.
Oh.
Right. But as far as flying with cigars, that's not an issue. You can carry on cigars.
Yeah.
You can there's a,
It's more the lighter. That they bitch about.
and you can fly with a Bic.
Mhm.
If they see a torch and it has fluid in it, they will definitely take it.
Yeah.
What I've done in the past is I've completely drained my torch lighter. I've put it in the original box it was purchased in with a sticky note that says this butane lighter is completely empty of butane fuel. And they've not taken that.
Nice.
I also hide a $5 butane lighter in my bathroom bag.
Mm.
And it gets mixed up with all the other bullshit that's in there, and it gets overlooked most of the time. But if you put a cheap one in there and they take it, you're out $5, whatever, right?
I just put mine in my checked bag.
Yeah, I'm talking check. They'll take it out of your check bag if they see it.
So what I did when I went to Normandy,
Yeah.
when I flew to France, I had I had a lighter and a cutter in my R20, and that was in a checked bag
Yeah.
that I locked,
Okay.
and they just didn't touch it.
Yeah. But you're lucky because
Yeah.
they will take it. In cutters, there's no reason they should take a cutter.
Yeah.
When I was flying to Nicaragua one time, we were going through El Salvador, and we had like a layover for a couple hours. And John and I were walking through their customs to get on the plane. Oh no, yeah, just to get on the plane. It wasn't even customs. But in our carry-on, we had cutters, and I had one of the good M8s at the time that we were trying. And the guy's like, this is a problem, major problem, in broken English. And I'm like, well, keep it. Like I said, no problem, keep it. And he's like, okay, no problem. And I'm sure he kept
He just wanted
it. Yeah, probably.
yeah.
And then in Nicaragua, they will take cutters and lighters when you're leaving there. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But
I've never understood that, man. It's the same thing with like knives and shit too. Because like, again, I'll reference my France trip. I flew first class, right? We flew business class there. They give you silverware, sharp ass knives, sharp ass silverware. Like
you're cracking the code.
It's like
stop giving away. Stop.
Like,
Any terrorist listening to this, disregard what Mikey just said. So
no, I want you guys to try again because that shit ain't never happening again. Like people are like, nope, they all saw Flight 93. It's on. Like that shit ain't happening again.
Try it. Yeah.
Actually, I just saw a thing where there's a lady who's currently being sued by the FAA with the largest lawsuit for a person in history. It's like $83,000 or some shit,
Holy
right?
cow.
And she's being sued because she tried to open the freaking door on a flight. See that lady it was in 2021. They had to duct tape her. It was an American Airlines thing. They had to duct tape her to the plane. Yeah.
Texas woman.
Yeah. She had to get duct taped to her seat. And it's $82,000. Yeah.
Good
the record
fucker.
fund. Yeah. Right.
I wish
dude, we are not playing with this stuff anymore.
I wish there was a way for if somebody let the door open in flight, but it only sucks out the person that opens the door.
Right.
And then it automatically shuts.
Yeah.
It's just like a -1.
Yeah. Acting out on American's flight. Yeah. I mean, there's certain times and places where you can act a fool. Airplanes aren't one of them.
No.
Airplanes are not one of them.
If you try to open the door, I'm borderline going to kill you.
No, I don't think 82 grand
Yes.
is.
Yep. Nope.
Like,
That's fine.
I don't know, man. They're
They're
never going to get that money from her.
Don't care. She should never have a dime in her life again.
Yeah.
She tried to kill everybody on that plane. What the hell was she doing?
So far in 2024, the FAA said there's been 915 cases of unruly passengers.
Yeah, but how many tried to open the door?
106 of those were due to intoxication, which
Okay.
means there's 800 change of them that are just people being dicks.
Oh, they're splitting it up. The first fine will be up to $45,000 for threatening, hitting, spitting, as well as attempting to kick and headbutt crew and passengers. Damn, this bitch was going crazy.
Yeah, she was batshit.
The second fine, up to $27,950 for attempting to open the cabin door in flight.
Yep.
I don't think you can. I don't think it's physically possible to open the door unless
No.
captain
there's no-
unlocks it or something,
Yeah.
9,000 for interfering with crew members' duty performance. Yeah. The hell with the hell with this chick.
On Wednesday, the FAA released a statement in part that said travelers will pay for misbehaving.
I mean, you shouldn't misbehave. Now,
Don't misbehave.
if somebody's acting up like that, and then I have to act up to get this stupid person from opening the door in mid-flight, then I should be not in trouble for that.
You also deserve a commission, in my opinion.
Yeah, you should get a chunk of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm just saying,
100%.
nothing's free in this world.
Yeah, you should get a chunk of this.
The lawsuit that was filed also said that Wells ordered a neat Jack Daniels an hour into the flight. That's where everything went south.
Yeah.
You get for drinking dirt whiskey. Of course, a lot of times that's all they have on an American airline. Fuck, I'm flying American today. Damn it. I fucking hate that airline.
I was on a flight that had Weller. I was like, what? Yes. I'll take a Weller.
Jesus. What airline was that?
I don't remember.
That's legit.
It was legit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Get a little Weller green label bottle.
Right.
Like, okay. We'll tell you, Air France just tries to get you shit faced.
Awesome.
They do like I had like 3 glasses of champagne before we took off.
Well, they want you sleeping for that flight.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like they want to wake you up with breakfast.
Right.
And it's like, oh, hey, okay. That's why they give you like slippers and like a blanket and shit. Like, it was wild, man. And sharp objects.
Yeah. I'm going to murder this bacon.
I had a blueberry crepe.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Nice.
Yeah. That was actually on the Delta on the way back.
Yeah.
Yeah. The food was really good. Like airplane food's stepping up their game.
Yeah.
Because it used to be so terrible.
Every time I've gotten a meal, it's been pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's rare.
Yeah.
The only time I get a meal now is the Nicaragua to Houston flight.
Do you know what I do find odd?
Hmm.
Is that they give you when you're sitting in first class, they give you a placemat. They like a tablecloth for your
Right.
tray table. I find that weird to me. Like it's like what
Be civilized, Mikey.
do I need that? Like I already have a napkin. Like I don't know. And all it is an extra napkin.
Yeah.
Like it's like all right. I don't know. I just find it odd. Like I don't do that at home, and I'm getting that on a plane. It's funny to me.
Yeah.
Very funny to me.
We got anything else?
That was all the questions today.
All right. Well, thanks for.
Sorry, I didn't answer any of your questions because I don't know any of the answers to these questions.
I think you can. I should have let you answer.
I would have probably. I agreed with everything you said. So I think I've learned by osmosis enough.
Yeah.
Being around you guys. Then
Well, I mean, yeah, the whole cedar thing, like, yeah, that's just not who I am. I don't care.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Quick housekeeping. If you're listening to this before the 4th of July, you can still get a free victory cigar. All you have to do is order cigars. Have to order cigars and you get a free victory. Or
It's a legal thing.
It is.
If you order a T-shirt, I can't give you a free cigar.
Yes.
Yep. So
also, if you like that hat that is on top of Scott's head, it's going to be fucking awesome on the 4th of July. It's
pretty awesome hat.
You can get one of those. We have a few different colorways. So head to the website, check those out, order some cigars, get a free victory, and party fucking hard on the 4th of July.
That's right.
take a picture and hashtag
Warfighter 4th.
Warfighter 4th.
Yeah, we want to
Nice.
see everybody smoking those victories.
Nice.
Everybody should be smoking a victory on the 4th of July with us because we all will be as well.
Yep.
But
Nice.
that's all the housekeeping.
Cool. Well, let's
Sweet.
wrap this up. Mikey, thanks for being on here.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for having me. Cheers, pal.
Cheers.
Yeah, man.
No hangovers after you leave this time. It'll be weird.
No. Yeah.
So,
It's often the case in this world,
yeah.
but I wouldn't have it any other way, pal.
I know, right? I quite enjoy it when you come do podcasts. All right. I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.